Hi friends, it's Julia. Thanks for stopping by my channel for Christmas in July, day number 23. Today I'm starting with a couple of the pattern papers that I have in my kit, and I'm cutting them down to go on these background papers. I only had, I think that green sheet was the only full 6x6 sheet that I had left. All the others have been cut into. So what I'm doing here, I take that back. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. Anyway, so I'm cutting down. I took 2 pieces of cardstock, created the background, and then I'm creating the pattern paper on top of that. And as I go through, I will pull in different embellishments in my stamping and all that jazz as I go along. I start with these 2 little ornaments that I have. That's one of the stripe pieces from the original introduction sheet from the pattern paper pack. And so I just cut down some of the scrap to have it in case I wanted to use it. And here I'm using it, which is always a nice thing when you're able to use those bits and pieces you don't think you'll use. Yeah. So I have those 2 little ornaments up there you see with the red ribbons. I had just put some glitter cardstock down on them and glued them down from the back side, and they're up there just drying. I initially thought I was going to use them on this set of cards, but I ended up opting not to. So I'm following along with the sketch that I'm using, and it's one off of Christy Marcotte's blog. If you go over to her YouTube channel and click on any of her videos, they will link you to her blog. And each card process that she does on her video, she gives you the explicit directions and information there on her blog about what the dimensions are of the paper that she cuts down on the sketch. Which is, you know, she's so generous to be doing the blog posts along with the YouTube channel. Totally impressed with her abilities there. So those look really cute there, and I don't know why I didn't use them because they are so cute on this card base. But yeah, I opted not to. I'm changing stuff around. I'm just debating what I'm going to use. So question of the day, and I don't think I've asked this. When you create your cards for Christmas, if you create them, do you do the same card over and over and over again for everyone? You know, do you just stick with one pattern and use that for all of your Christmas cards? Or do you mix it up? Do you give different cards? Do you make different cards for different people? Do you just go along like I'm doing and make a card here and a card there? Just based on what you're feeling like for the day. It's not a difficult process, I don't think, in deciding which way you want to go. It's just a matter of what do you do. I'm curious because for years, when I initially started making cards, I would make the same exact card and everybody got the same one. And I was okay with that. That's the direction that I wanted to go. And then over the course of years, I came to realize that I was getting bored with the process and I wanted to change it up some. So then I would change it up. I would do like, you know, however many of one design, and then I would choose another design. And then I would pull it in and do 3 or 4 different designs for Christmas cards. And then over time, I've changed. In the last probably 5 or 6 years, I have made Christmas cards every month leading into the end of the year. So that by the time I got to December, all the Christmas cards were done. I would have like, initially I started out, I made like over 100 cards a year for Christmas. And then over time, it's changed. The numbers have gone down. And so now I make 50 to 60 cards a year for Christmas. And as I was making them monthly, I opted to just make them different. One year, I think I made every single card different. That was too much. And so I thought, okay, if I'm making one, it's just as easy to make 2, sometimes 3 or 4. Back to the card making process. You see me stamping the Santa and the sleigh and the reindeer on the front, and then doing some stars. And I'm again stamping on the inside my sentiment along with some snowflake, not star, snowflake stamps on the inside of the card base as well as the card front or the envelope front. So as I go through, I'm about to start gluing things down. But back to card process. So I finally came to a determination that what I like to do is I like to make at least 2, sometimes up to 4 or 6 of the same card as I go along. And I would do that every month. I would make like 4 to 6 cards, not necessarily the same design, but sometimes the same design as I went along. Sometimes it would be 2 of one, 2 of another, 2 of a third, however I wanted to do it. And so when I was thinking about this process this year and doing Christmas in July, making these cards, I thought I'll do at least a couple every day to get through this whole process and see where it takes me. If I do 1 each day, that's okay. If I do 2 each day, that's okay. Or if I do more. I just wanted to get into these little mini kits that I created. And this is mini kit number 3. So I finished off the first 2. I wanted to create enough cards to get me through the entire Christmas season, but if I didn't, that was going to be okay too. My goal initially was to make 50 to 60 cards for the entire Christmas season, but I can tell you I surpassed that coming into this third kit. With the first kit, I made 19 cards, and with the second kit, I made 23 cards. So you can see I made a boatload of cards so far, so I don't really need that many more. 20 or so cards is all I need, or less than 20 cards, to finish off the complete Christmas season, but I'll have extras that will bleed into the next year. I don't know how many extras I have in my stash currently, and if I'll even be able to skip a year next year. We'll see. I don't think so, but we'll see. So here I am. I'm gluing everything down. I have the original red base, I have the cream base on top of that, and then I have the pattern paper on top of that. And then I have my little journaling piece in the middle that has my sentiment on it, and I'm about to put down the embellishments that I've chosen. I've chosen this snowflake, and it had a little foam sticker on the back of it, and I just peeled it off. And here, my Tombow is getting kind of low, so it's not coming out as quickly, but I'm using it to glue down the back side, and then I'll put that on the card. And it is off center, and that's for a purpose. I'm going to use a couple of those little snow globes that I cut out, fussy cut from the paper pack, the one paper that had all the little snow globes on it. I'm going to use those up there too. I chose two of the round ones, and I'm just going to tuck those in there. On those card bases. I thought I had put some foam behind them. I guess maybe not. There I go. I'm doing it the hard way. Rather than do it like I normally would, putting the foam tape on first, I decided to do it the hard way and wait till I had already started sticking everything down. Do you guys do that on occasion? Do you choose to do things the most difficult way possible when there's a much more simpler way to do it? I seem to do that a lot. Anyway, I hope I have inspired you guys to get into your stash and to get creating, whether it be Christmas cards, birthday cards, anniversary cards, get well cards, or even scrapbook pages. I hope this really inspires you to get some stuff done with your own stash. I mean, we bought the stuff because we love it and we want to use it. And I hope this inspires you to get in there and use it up so that you don't have to get rid of it in a purge or a, de-stash. Hopefully this will encourage you to use what you have. Anyway, you can see I'm adding some additional bling on there. I have these little bling strips in there, and I think those were from Michaels or Hobby Lobby, and I just cut them apart. They were bling strips, and I just cut them apart, and now I'm using the individual pieces on these snowflakes to add some extra bling. This card is in essence done. I'll glue down the card front to the card base, and then they will be ready to go. I sure appreciate you guys popping in every day, and I hope that this inspires you. And if it does, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you want to see more process videos that use older stash, because I do a lot of that. I create a lot with my older stash. Anyway, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.